All right, a very good morning to you and happy Independence Day wherever you are. Some of you are home, some are roaming about, some are still in bed, but wherever you find yourself. It's a 67 years of this country having gained independence by Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And so we're marking it today. Are you happy or you're sad at 67? But I'll be going into the issues pretty shortly with the kids. Let me just remind you, newspapers didn't go to bed, obviously. So I'll give you just a few headlines that we're faced with today on Ghana's 67th year anniversary. There will be political consequences if Akufo-Addo rejects anti-LGBT bill that is from the Catholic Bishops' Conference. We have Parliament dragged to Supreme Court over anti-LGBTQ bill. And you know that there is some private suit against the bill. Anti-LGBTQ bill yielding to external pressures makes nonsense of our independence. And that is by National Chief Imam spokesperson, right? Ask the day properly. We can't comment on the bill not yet signed into law. IMF on Ghana's anti-LGBT bill plus. I'm thinking the IMF, really, what's the IMF saying? They can't comment, but they are... Okay, we'll get into it. I didn't intend to win Ayawaso West Wogon. So you know that the new ministers that were appointed by the president are now being vetted by Parliament, and they are making comments. Lily Al-Hassan says that he didn't intend to win Ayawaso West Wogon by elections through violence. You know, there's the difference between the intention itself and the act itself, right? Okay. So suit against anti-LGBTQ bill, not a declaration of my personal stance. And that's by Richard Sky. He's the one that has sued Parliament over the bill. This one says that 9 months long enough to make a mark at local government ministry. That's Mensa Kosa, one of the nominees that also appeared at the vetting committee yesterday. Lydia Al-Hassan actually says that Accra's filth, is pure, like 100% attitudinal. She thinks that is an attitudinal problem, purely an attitudinal problem, nothing to do with leadership, purely just attitude. But the attitude, does it also include leaders' attitude? That's a question I am throwing in there. Now, the National Cathedral project must be completed. Is a must. Ejapamesa, who also appeared before the committee yesterday, is advising that the National Cathedral project should be complete, or must be completed. Remember that Ablakwa has also, the MP for Northern constituency, has given us indication that he's having a press conference today at 2 p.m. On the National Cathedral, because we were supposed to see it in its full glory today, as the president indicated. But as it is now, it is just 58 million spent on the pits that we're seeing today. I've not betrayed Ghanaians. Records of my achievements abound. Akufo-Addo. So on your 67th birthday celebration, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as president has not deceived Ghanaians. Let's take a break. When we come back, I'll introduce the guests and then we get into the matters at hand now. All right, you're welcome back to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, the holiday edition is 6th March, and today is coming to you from the Eastern region, to be precise, Koforidua. That's where the national celebration will be held, and Metro TV will bring you the details of that later on. But Kwesi Pratt Jr., who is an editor of the Inside newspaper, has joined us in the studio. You're welcome. Good morning to you, and happy holiday.
Thank you.
So Alfred Thompson. Alfred Thompson is also a former Deputy Managing Director for NIB and also speaks for the party in government, NPP. Alfred, thank you for coming. You're welcome. It's been a while on the show.
Yes,
right?
Annie, good morning.
Good morning.
You're looking very lovely. I like your outfits.
Thank you.
Very, very lovely.
I actually did it today.
You did it today yourself?
Yes, because what I'm wearing is very complicated.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Innovations.
Yeah.
That's good. It looks good.
Thank you.
I'm sure Uncle Kwesi will agree with me.
What do you want to draw me into this?
Isn't the outfit nice?
Well, it's a good day to showcase what our talented Ghanaians can do. Pardon?
Happy Independence Day.
Oh, same to you. Happy Independence Day. Yeah.
And I believe it's Lordina's birthday, so I wish her happy
yes,
birthday.
Yes. She's 6th March. Yeah. You're right. Right.
Former First Lady. I wish her happy birthday.
Yes. Oh, it's Joyce Bauer. That's 1st January.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I almost confused. Yeah. You're right. Oh, thank you for reminding me, actually. So, former First Lady, Mama Lordina, happy birthday to you. I think we shouldn't forget again. Say, I mean, Independence Day. Yeah, it's not something we should forget. So, happy birthday to you, Mrs. Lordina Mahama. But I think on that note, let me just do this quickly before I forget. The digital chairman in team, Stephen Ofosu-Adjare. He's actually the chairman for NDC Owutu Senya East constituency. He's lost the mom. So condolences to you. We're told that you have actually lost your mother. We're sorry for your loss and condolences to you and your family. Now, imagine getting rewarded for doing something you already do every single day. And if it sounds too good to be true, well, it's real. MTN is doing something for you. It says that it's Momo season and you have to Momo with the Momo Pay. Now, you download the Momo app on Play Store, on App Store, and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant either through the QR code or the merchant ID and stand the chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis weekly and also other many prizes. Our merchants are also not left out of the reward. Receive payments and win. Keep using the Momo Pay and the Momo app and get rewarded. There are lots and lots of exciting prizes for everyone. So use your Momo Pay. Log on to momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh for the Momo business account today. And it says terms and conditions, of course, apply. Is Momo season, Momo with Momo Pay. Now, let me talk to you about Kel 360 toothpaste. If you were desperate of getting a toothpaste that would take care of all the family and save money, remember that they have Kel Kits, we have Kel Charcoal, and then we have Kel 360 that's also come on the market. So we're recommending the Kel 360 toothpaste approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. It provides your family with the all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for kids as well, and children and adults. So let your family be a proud family when they set out by constantly using the Kel 360 toothpaste. The Kel 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited and producers of Sasso, available on all markets as well, malls and provision shops. So call them on 024-686-4798. Kel 360, happy smile. Lift and Elevators also is still on the market, ready to help you to enjoy the fruit of your labor. So if you want them to come and install it in your home, it takes 3 days and will do the installation for you. Lift and Elevators have got you covered with the portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market. And also, it is simple and self-supported elevator for both homes and offices. Guess what? It can lift your goods as well. It comes in wheelchair, can be fitted actually also in the lift, and in 3 days the custom made modules can be made available. It's affordable and can be installed within those days. That's the 3 days I've told you. They're located at Sakumono. Call them on 0200-535-515 or send them an email on elevators@gmail.com for consultations and best solutions in easy vertical movements. Amin Scientific also says that once there's hope, there's health, there's hope. And health is everything. So Amin is actually offering you some health screening. It's organizing the free health screening for now. Just to say thank you to the general public and Ghanaians in general. What's more rewarding than this is the free screening includes fertility tests, prostate, stroke, diabetes, hypertension, fibroid, ulcers, hepatitis B, and more. The medical screening is free, but patients with disease conditions will pay a token for medications. And you visit them at Domit near Smith Flats, Down, or Clago near Ashaman Underbridge, and all the branches across the country. Or call Armin Scientific on 0207 22 9505 or 0244 227192 to book your appointment. Armin Scientific allows Shafi rather. It says God is the healer. Okay, so I'll pick this story first. About His Excellency saying that he has not betrayed Ghanaians. Sorry, it says that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo says that he's proud of his achievements over the last 7 years as a leader of Ghana. Nana Addo says that he has performed well as president from 2017 to date. Addressing a gathering of a diplomatic corps in Peduase, Akufo-Addo highlighted his government's achievements across various sectors. Quote, whether it is in the management of national economy, in education, healthcare, roads development, railway development, digitalization, infrastructural development in general, and agricultural and industrial transformation, the fight against corruption, the battle against environmental degradation, the response of COVID-19 pandemic. The record is there for all to see. I can say in all good conscience that I have not betrayed the mandate that the good people of Ghana conferred on me. These were the words of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo at Peduase, marking the 67th anniversary. What do you think? Alfred, I'll start with you. Since you're here to tell us about, I'm not going to use the word you used.
Tell you about government business.
Yes, please. You tell us about government business. So happy anniversary to all of us, though.
Thank you. I believe good morning to you and good morning to Uncle Kwesi and the entire nation watching us. I wish everyone happy Independence Day. And I hope and pray that a year by now we'll be here together and chatting stronger and new path. The president outlined some of the things he's done since he took over from power. And one would always say that, yes, when he was taking over, there were challenges, just as there are challenges today. And he took the bull by the horn and started working for the good of the people of Ghana. He had a mandate to make sure that he supports and work for the people of Ghana. So that's what he did. And he told everyone that he's worked in various sectors to make sure that we all benefit from his good works. When you go to from education right down to railway to whichever sector you want to do, there's an edifice there to show that yes, he's done, or there's a footprint there to show that he's done something good for the country. It's not an easy path, and that one will all say that it's never been an easy path. But we all believe that at the end of it all, we know that it's for the good of this country. It's been a challenging 7 years, the ups and downs of it, the challenges that have come. As we sit now, we all know that even though we are in a global crunch, economic crunch, we're still fighting hard to survive and to make sure that we put things in the right path. So in wishing or in speaking to the diplomatic corps, and I think it's the new year, then he just told them that, listen, he's done his bit. I've put these parts together. Yes, I had challenges, but together we're able to build upon what we have to do. And the rest is, and everything is there for people to see. So I would say that, yes, the president has done his bit, and he's telling us what he's done to the good people of Ghana.
So if you actually look at where we are today, I mean, as a country, marking 67 years, are you proud?
I would say over the 67 years of having or gaining independence, we could have done better. Presidents have come and gone. Democracies have come and gone. we are in the fourth democratic dispensation. Militaries have come in and gone. Everybody who has taken some aspect of this country to run definitely has done something. They've put something together. They have at least left a mark. If you mention any president, you definitely get something to say about the person and what they've done. But I believe that, yes, we could have done more. As at this time, we could have reached the levels of the Malaysians and the Singaporeans. But still, there is room to make sure that within the next 8 years, the path that we chart is what will direct us to make sure. I mean, Dubai, we all could talk about Dubai. It transformed and developed within 15 years. So why can't we do the same? We can do the same within 4 to 8 years or more. Everybody will come and do his part, but we need to take a strong path that, listen, let us all chart this course. And I believe that things will fall in place.
Let me come back to you. I'll come back to you on some issues. I'm trying to jot them. When I come back to it, to you, I'll mention them. But okay. Let me engage Ankwesi Pratt on that. Ankwesi Pratt, what do you make of what Nana is saying? He has not betrayed us.
Well, I mean, first of all, I have no intention to display delusion. I don't think that I'm delusional at all, and I don't want to create that impression. I mean, over the last 7 years, it's quite clear, even to the casual observer, that the state of national affairs has deteriorated, completely deteriorated. And there cannot be any argument about that. If you look at all the indicators, if you look at the real life of our citizens and so on, there's been massive deterioration. And I don't see how anybody can turn that, through rhetorics and so on. Yes, the president claims to have virtually fulfilled, the promises that he made to the people of Ghana. I don't want to dwell on that. But look, there are 1,000 promises that the president has not fulfilled. You can mention them. Everybody knows them. There's not a time to repeat them. And one of the pledges was to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa, in his first term. What happened to that? What happened to $1 million per constituency and so on? What happened to the Cape Coast Airport? And so many of them. The National Cathedral, we're supposed to be inaugurating it this morning. Where is the National Cathedral? You understand? So please, stop talking to us like this. I mean, it's so annoying when you hear the people we entrusted power to on the basis of promises they made, coming back, looking us in the face and saying that we have fulfilled the promises. What promises have we fulfilled? What promises have we fulfilled? And there's this new tactic that they have adopted, just come and sit on platforms such as this and throw non-existent figures at us. I mean, this is a government which has constructed the most roads since independence. Where is that coming from? You think we don't travel around? I drove from Musuku to this station. I know the state of the roads. The people who live on the road from Musuku to this station, they know the state of the roads. You understand? I mean, so-called Eastern Corridor Road. A friend of mine just drove on it 3 days ago. And so stop deceiving yourselves. You are entitled to deceive yourselves if you want to. But don't think that all of us, the citizens of this country, are yo-yos. That you can come and tell us anything. Stop doing that. Why? We are celebrating Independence Day today. What is a bigger betrayal of the independence aspiration than that letter or statement which was issued by the Minister of Finance, saying that we should be careful not to think. We should be careful not to do things our own way, because if we do that, those who are responsible for our enslavement, for the transatlantic slave trade, for classical colonialism and so on, they'll be angry. Is that the worth of our independence? Please, don't waste our time.
So, just a few for you, Alfred.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the capacity in which the president wanted to speak, but there are major things that went wrong in this administration that I dare say never happened before. So we started with the help of the Northern Constituency MP, tracking the president using private jet. And he gave us an estimation between the period of May 2021 and to about July 8, 2022, when a story was being filed. The estimation we had was 34 million spent on private jet. I think there was an effort to bring the National Security Minister to come and explain and give us the estimation or the numbers. And he refused to do that. With the finance minister as well, they all refused to do that. So we don't know as a country how much we spent on this private jets. We don't even know the state of our presidential aircraft today. We spent about $450 million on National Cathedral. The president started saying it is his personal, promise. It metamorphosed to becoming a national duty. In fact, at some point, we were even asked to contribute to some short code, some 1 cedi contribution or something like that. We don't know how much we gathered even with that. SAL, the issue of SAL, such cardinal sin. The president is proud of that. We've had issues of old men and old women on the streets begging for their own money, haircuts. Is that something he's saying he's proud of? I mean, there are some very major things that went wrong. Corruption. In Ghana, the recent corruption index that came out indicated that we are stagnated with corruption improvement for 4 consecutive years. No improvement. But there are even issues that we're still dealing with, corruption allegations. And the president specifically mentioned these areas, saying he is proud of it. I mean, for the sake of time, I cannot go on to even compare it to the base year that we may want to, compare to. But these are the things, some of the things that happened to Ghana, and the president is saying he's still proud of it.
Annie, I would say I've listed some things that I'm going to talk, including the corruption, SAL, and everything. I'll start with the things that Ankwesi raised, that the president has listed numerous things that he's achieved. And he didn't say a lot of things that he didn't achieve as well. The president did not come out to say that he's achieved everything he said he would do. But he listed things that he's done to demonstrate that you cannot say he hasn't worked at all. So once he's come out to say some, that listen, I've done A, I've done B, I've done C, doesn't mean that he said, I've achieved everything. And it has to go on record that that is what happened. On the matter of roads, we all know, and the data is here, I think I can give the book to anybody to check, or even if you go to Ministry of Roads, you get it. From 2009 to 2016, the total number of Ghana Highway Authority kilometers of road that was done was 581. From 2017 to 2022, the kilometers of road done by Ghana Highways Authority is 1,505.72.
Does it include patches on the motorway?
I'll come to, they have
the details of it.
They have all the breakdown, everything.
Because when it comes to road construction, I'm considering the quality of road construction we are doing.
I also
if I see what we have done to the motorway, it's ridiculous, it's funny, it's confusing.
Let's explain this. The motorway is going to be done. When you have queues, traffic, because of some holes that is on the motorway, what you have to do is close those holes so that the cars can move.
With bitumen.
Because it got to a time when I was going to tell my lot, and when you come, you can spend about 30 minutes to an hour at a particular patch. So they had to put tire there. And when you get there, you are gone. I don't think the government has aired there. I don't think Ministry of Transport Roads has aired in there. So you look at the total. You look at, as of 2009 to 2016, the total roads done was 4,636. 2017 to 2022, we've done over 11,974. And when we talk about 4,000 and 11,000, it includes everything, the patches, everything, to make sure that the road is motorable. So you can't take it away from him that he is speaking the truth, that we've done more roads within a short time than within the 8 years of a previous government. And I don't think he should sit down and say that I haven't achieved anything there. I believe that he should come out with some achievements that he's done. He didn't talk about everything. He spoke about some that he's achieved. Because if he's going to give a list of his achievements, I don't think he would have left that day. He's done a lot of things. Take it or like him or not. He's done a lot of things. And in that same vein too, he's had a lot of challenges. We are in a human institution. We can't say that, yes, we've achieved everything. No, we cannot.
And he said he's done well with the economy as well.
When you go through our manifesto,
the economy that's so topical today, he says he's done well with the economy. He's proud of it. The economy.
2 days ago, I heard the former finance minister stating that, yes, the economy is recovering. And it's recovering fast. Yes. He was on joy. And what I'm saying is that there were challenges, but it's picking up. So it tells you that the person is working. He's not sitting there and throwing his hands in the air that because we had global economic challenges, I've left everything to be. So what happens should happen because I'm already president, so I don't care. He's working to make sure that whatever challenges we are going through, he will drive us out of it.
Challenges he brought on himself.
Did he bring the challenges of the economy?
He did not.
When there's a global economic crunch?
Then
you can tell me that he brought the challenges of UK and other countries that have gone on recession. They are global economic crunch, and it's every country in the way they are tackling theirs. But there's a global economic crunch, and we can't run away from that. You talked about the private jets. At the time that he was using the private jet, and you and myself, we don't know how much has been spent on it, because it's the minister who has to say it, and he says that is his, this thing is as and when he needs to say it, that you say it. But as at that
he
time,
said for security reasons he cannot provide the details.
And that's what I'm saying, that when he wants to say it, he'll come out and say it.
Why?
But for security reasons, he said, I don't know why he said security reasons, but that's what he stated. He's the security minister. And that's what he stated. But the thing is that
I just want us to make logic of everything we say.
Yeah. At the time
if you have used taxpayers' money on private jets, in fact, I was trying to track the last time he used a private jet and when we went to the IMF. And I was wondering if those who were in charge of our economy were able to preempt or project and look at our books and project that this is where we are and this is where we'll be in the next 3 months before we even went to the IMF. So if you are not giving us such an account, what has that account even got to do with national security?
They've had challenges with the presidential jets. They sent it for it to be corrected and the whole jet refixed. Whilst doing that, he travels on a private jet. I don't think he's the first president that has traveled on a private jet. I don't believe so. Because I believe when you check the records, he hasn't. But he's traveled on a private jet. I got to a time he said that, okay, my jet is back, or I'm using the commercial, business class of a commercial jet. So we cannot totally say that, yes, he didn't need to travel. He needed to do certain journeys at that point in time. But he has cut down on using the private jet because the presidential jet is back. So I would want us to move above that. If the minister feels that today he's coming to tell us how much was spent, what reasons that they gave them to use the private jet, we'll listen to it. And
if he decides not to tell us?
One day it will come out.
No.
One day it will come out.
If he decides not to tell us, one day it will come out.
Yeah, one day.
So like an MP has been tracking the private jet, he should be tracking and looking for the documents by himself. When we have paid a minister who is answerable to us, is that what you're saying?
There's another minister who decide that, listen, I want to come out with the amount spent on this private jet.
So we should take the responsibility from the current minister?
Whoever takes over, he says that.
No, listen, I'm not looking at taking over. There's a current minister now.
He says based on security reasons, I can tell you. Based on security reasons.
Do you agree? Do you agree?
Squeeze it out of him.
Do you agree with that assertion?
You know where he went to say that? To Parliament.
Parliament, yes.
Yes. That's the highest body.
But it doesn't mean I cannot question. It doesn't mean you don't have your own mind.
Everybody can question
so
him.
I'm asking you, that you think that it makes sense? I mean, that explanation he actually took to Parliament, does it make sense?
That's what he's saying.
No, does it make sense to you?
That's what he's saying.
Does it make sense to you?
I can't query his judgment
I'm
on
not
that.
saying query his judgment, but does it make any meaning?
You're asking me to query his judgment now.
Does it make logic to you?
And you are asking me to query his judgment.
Is it a logical explanation?
I'll tell you the truth. I cannot query his judgment. He stated it.
I'm not saying query his judgment. If anybody else,
for what he's saying, because I don't know what goes into it or what informed him to give us that explanation. He is at the helm of affairs. I am not there. Maybe given the chance, I will tell you that, yes, I've spent A or B. Maybe given the chance, I'll tell you that, no, I didn't. So these are things that we can take away from him. The National Cathedral and its matters arising, I believe that there's an independent body that has been given the task. I don't know if they've come out with their report as of now, but I know that they were given the task of going through the accounts and everything. I would say that I would prefer to wait to get the full report, we query the report, and we see the way forward. But this is a project that, given the right of the president, he says that he was going to do. He believes that...
Has the project been abandoned?
No.
How do you know?
Because there is a query on it. The president has tasked some company, I think KPMG, to do an audit on all the funding that they've received, all things that have been has transpired, everything that has gone on. So once they've come out with their report, now we can query the report and ask further and better particulars. The SAL, I think, is an electoral commission thing. So I would defer to the whole SAL.
No, it's not.
Why?
It's a president for all.
Yes. But
and
the electoral commission.
Does the government finance the electoral? Does the government finance the electoral commission's
Definitely.
activities? So how do you tell me
and
the
the
electoral
government
commission
not finance the last elections?
So how do you give money to an electoral commission that has disenfranchised some of your children, and you think that, well, that's your job, it's not my job?
At that time that we were going for elections, every election is handled by the electoral commission. The government doesn't come in. The moment the government starts dictating to them what they should do, it becomes a problem.
No, we're not saying that dictate. You are.
But you've given them money to run elections.
Yes, but you see, you give money
on the day of election. That is when you get to notice that SAL is not going to hold elections there for parliamentary. What can he do?
Why do you think that Parliament even questions electoral commission?
So Parliament should ask.
I'm saying that. Why do you think?
SAL.
Is it Parliament that pays for electoral commission's budget? No.
Their budget is approved by Parliament.
Yes, I'm saying, but it's approved by, but the money is released by government.
Yes.
Right?
If Parliament has
so
approved,
if Parliament
can release it.
feels responsible to ask questions, why is it that the one who is heading the central coffers is not responsible or doesn't feel responsible?
I believe definitely the president has called the electoral commissioner to ask what happened at SAL, and definitely she would have responded. Ghanaians can call her and ask her, and she'll respond to us why elections were not held there. But the government or the president will not come and do the work of the electoral commissioner for her. It is not the president's duty to do that. So it's the electoral commissioner's duty to come out and tell Ghanaians why they didn't hold elections at SAL, and the reasons or the way forward on that this notion. If we start doing that, we are doing the work of the Electoral Commission. And the same people will come out and say that, why are you doing the work of the Electoral Commission? I don't think we should do that.
Okay.
I believe that we should leave it for the Electoral Commission to come out. Let's ask her questions. Yemisa is a seasoned person. She's been in the political space for a long time, even before she became a political, the Electoral Commissioner. So she's held series of debates and things for presidential candidates. She knows what goes on.
For 4 years, have you heard the chairperson of the commission, Jim Mensah, address that issue?
I haven't heard because I haven't queried it. I don't know whether you have queried it on it.
Oh, why? But I'm a journalist. So we should go and call her and ask her questions. Why haven't you done that?
Have you written to her that you want to know some explanation on the SAL and she's refused to give you the response?
That's what we should do.
If you want to get information, we write for it.
You have done your work. You have failed at a certain point. I have to now sit down and put something on paper. Hold on. I have to now sit down and put some words on a paper demanding for answers when you know that you have failed at... In fact, you know that you have failed at a certain point. we've had the deputies, we've had discussions with them. You've had that discussion this for 4 years.
Good.
And you think that we still have to write to you before you respond to it?
If I need information from anywhere, I'll go for it. At IPAC, definitely SAL has come up. They've talked about it. But maybe it hasn't come out. The other political parties can talk about it. At meetings, she would definitely have spoken about it. In fact, when SAL did not come on, she told Ghanaians that SAL was not going to, there was no elections in SAL. So if I need better and further particulars, I'll write to her, I'll ask her questions. I can call or walk to her office and ask. I can go to the PR and ask him that I need information on this once I'm a concerned party. And I will not, as MPP or as government, do the work of Electoral Commission. I leave it to them to do their work. If you need further, but I believe if you tell your, your producer to call them right now, the commissioner, they will definitely answer something on SAL. But I will not do that work for it. If I get to know what it is and I'm on air and I can answer it, I will do that. But till then, I will not say anything on SAL because it's their duty to inform Ghanaians what happened at SAL and why did we only hold elections there.
Right. You were talking corruption.
Corruption. I believe the president set up the OSP to fight corruption and corruption-related matters. So far, we've all been seeing what he's doing. I think every year he comes out to enumerate the total number of cases that he's doing and what is happening and where it's gotten to and everything. So at least he's done the bits that he said he was going to fight corruption through the OSP, which he's put in place. The OSP is not disturbed from doing his job. The OSP has been carrying his duties as and when. It even got to a time that people were saying that there are so many cases out there that we expect you to be chasing, but it seems like you just want to chase government and government officials. So what is happening to the other cases that has been outstanding? But he's doing his job and no one can control him or direct him on what to do. If this is what he wants to do, if he decides today that it's this person I'm going to work on, that's the OSP's job, and he will come out and give it. Other things that we've done to make sure we fight corruption is the digitalization. That is one thing that also brings the human interface that has been cut. It brings out a lot of corruption-related matters because when auditors come to do it and they run through the system, they realize that a lot of things are coming out because the digitalization is a drive that is going on and going on very swiftly. If you don't do that, and always you have people like the old auditing system, you bring these documents, they check and they say they are okay. If I hide certain documents and you don't see, you can't query. So some of these things...
with corruption and education together, at some point, we promised that we're giving students tablets.
Yeah.
We never did.
It's still ongoing. I think some students have been given.
No, we haven't.
I remember
we haven't.
The Education Ministry came out, I think, a week or two ago, stating that...
Stating the date that we will start. Yes. Okay. So the students don't have it.
The teachers are also getting... It's not all teachers who have even gotten the laptops. But some teachers have been given and it's still ongoing. So it's an ongoing process. It's not something that we've truncated.
We haven't... It's not ongoing. It hasn't started.
I mean, the teachers and the students, once teachers are being given, they will still be given.
Teachers have been given.
Some teachers have been given. Some teachers have been given. I even got a message from some teachers saying that, you haven't finished with us and you are also giving students as well. And I told them that the Education Ministry said they are going to do it together.
So some teachers have been given tablets?
I know that it's in phases.
Are you sure what you're saying?
I believe so. Because I got the message. I can show you the message when you go on break.
The digitalization at Drive.
Yeah.
Were we looking at it affecting educational system as well? I mean, literally schools.
I don't get your point. Affecting it how?
In terms of everything that maybe students need in class. For example, spending 68.5 million CDs on photocopy of past questions for students. Is this something that we could have used?
I mean, if you have a tablet
digitized
today,
version.
That's
why I asked for the tablets.
If they've supplied the tablets to them today, we wouldn't need to print the exam questions. You can just forward it straight to them on their laptops. So it's a process. And that's why I said things are ongoing. You can't decide that having given them, laptops, and truncating the printing of papers for them today, because I hope to give them laptops. So if the laptops haven't come, how do they work on it? So these are things that are working gradually. It's a phase out, and it takes time. It's expensive at the beginning, but at the end of it, it helps all of us.
Uncle, I think you wanted to respond to a few things.
I think there was
I'm not.
DEP and the old ladies that
Yes,
came out.
the haircuts.
That was really an unfortunate situation that happened to our parents. I feel that it's already happened. What we can do is to apologize to them. It's because of the challenges we faced at that time, and the best thing to do is to apologize and pray and hope that it never happens again. Because I don't want my mother to go through that. I don't want my parents or my auntie to go through that. I don't want my uncle to go through that. It happened. But we are sorry about that. And I believe that it shouldn't happen again.
You know, first of all, let me apologize to you. And I'm going to apologize profusely for grabbing your own documents, the documents you brought to the studio to make your case, without your permission.
Oh, no problem. I mean, it's public documents. So I got it from the ministry. I asked for it. I requested for it, and I got a copy.
So thank you very much. You know your problem? The use of imprecise language is meant to deceive. Deliberately meant to deceive. So when we are talking about roads, you say, we've done more roads than any other government. Done roads, what does that mean? So if there's 100 kilometers of roads and you go and put 5 patches on it, you've done 100 kilometers of roads. Is that not deception? Now, this is your own document, which I just grabbed from you, and apparently prepared by the Ministry of Roads and Highways, with beautiful photographs which mean nothing. You understand? But then on page 11, the heading is Ministry of Roads and Highways, Summary of Completed Projects by Activity, January 2017 to December 22. This is a very interesting table.
Yeah.
The claim is that they have done a grand total of 11,000 done. 974.96 kilometers. Now let's go into the details. Asphalt overlay, 1,807.72. Bridge construction, 33. Graveling and re-graveling, 6,094.5. Interchange, 5.
Graveling and re-graveling.
Re-graveling, 6,000 kilometers. That's
Kilometers, that's
it's not numbers.
Yeah.
Some are numbers, some are kilometers.
Interchange, they said they've done 5. Partial reconstruction, they said they've done 163.56 kilometers. Reconstruction of roads, they have done 186 kilometers. Rehabilitation of roads, 1,187.1. Resealing of roads, 101 kilometers.
Which one is the resealing?
Yeah,
The potholes
resealing. But this document
is yours.
No,
it's yours.
I want you to understand
Don't
that.
worry.
Please, okay, you go on.
It's your
When you
document.
finish, I'll come
It's
back
not
to
my
it.
document.
Yeah.
Upgrading, surfacing, 1,818.8. Grand total, 11,974 kilometers and so on. Do you know the trick? Actual construction of roads here, construction, is 615 kilometers.
That's actual. It's captioned as actual construction.
Here, actual construction of roads is 615.8 kilometers. You understand? So when they use the term, we have done roads.
You've done roads.
Upgrading,
It's so imprecise.
When you have upgrading a
in
road.
fact,
When we are filling potholes,
No,
what is
I'm not talking about
when
filling,
you
but
are
resealing.
potholes, you add that.
Resealing. That's where you are filling potholes. Resealing.
And this is shame.
But-
That is resealing,
but resealing, is that part of construction?
isn't it?
You capture it under road
But
construction.
no, you give the total number so that when I come on set and you come and ask me that how many So how many kilometers of road did you reseal?
How about
Then I give it
graveling
to
and
you.
re-graveling? What's that?
Please, can I make my
That
point?
is
Yes.
the road or
So when
there's
you
a
hear
path
them-
that is there, but you are now putting the gravels
Please,
there,
can I make
and some of
my
them have been
point?
spotted, and you are re-graveling them.
Okay.
When you hear them say they've done 12,000 kilometers of road, the actual road they have constructed is 615 kilometers. The rest is patching potholes and you know, re-graveling and so on.
So all the partial
But
construction.
these are your own figures.
Yes, but
I
they
didn't
have
read this
breakdowns
document.
there.
Yes, I'm
Asphalt
reading the
overlays, how
breakdown.
many? How much?
Asphalt overlay, only
That a
1,807.7.
road is a construction of the road. Because if you just put there's a laterite there,
No, but he's
and the
he's-
laterite,
Asphalt overlay is an existing road.
yes,
Huh?
it
on
could
which
be
you
just
go-
laterite.
Look, asphalt overlay. One of those things is the dummy
Roundabout.
runabout,
Yeah.
you know, to Atomic Junction.
Yeah, that
That was
is-
an existing road. You understand? With bitumen on it and so on. All you did was to spread asphalt on it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying that let's use precise language. Because if we use precise language, then we can really assess what we have done. Because your own document says that real construction of roads is 650.8.
But is it not precise language? It's up to
Thank
you.
you.
It's up to you.
That's a breakdown.
To try to, not to try to, but to decide on how you want to understand what has been written there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And the president, when he's come to make his speech,
Please,
I'm just
don't
contributing.
go. No, is
the
it- no.
president, when he's come to make a speech,
I am
will come and
reacting.
give you the total.
I am
He can't give you
reacting
this thing.
to his claim that they have done more roads than any other government since independence. And I'm saying that when
There's
they
a
say
question
they
about
have
the
done
dam.
roads, what does it mean? Does it mean filling potholes and so on? Now here is the breakdown,
Yeah.
which gives us the actual picture.
Yeah.
The roads, the length of roads they have actually constructed is 615.8 kilometers. Here, your own document. You have done asphalt overlay. It's 1,800. You've done re-graveling, graveling and re-graveling. It's 6,000 kilometers and so on. So if you say done roads, it goes for any road you have touched. If you take one pickaxe and go and dig a pothole in a road and fill it up, it's done roads.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So
It's
I'm
roads.
saying that the use of imprecise language is to deceive.
Oh.
So
So
we-
if it's to deceive, won't give you the
So will you
breakdown.
rather
You
they?
didn't give me. I took it from you. Did you
This
give
is
me this document?
public document. And that's
So-
what I
so-
told
so
Anita.
what
When you
he's-
seek,
But,
you will get information.
listen. There's another portion which is interesting. And this is on page 9.
Yeah.
It says interchange construction 2009 to 2016 versus, this is how they put it. This is a government document. This is not a party document.
But it's
This
not
is a
party, it's
document.
government.
This is a document which was produced
National.
with taxpayers' money.
Yes.
Supposed to have been produced by civil servants, technocrats working for government.
Yeah.
And in their wisdom,
Yeah.
they produce a document which talks about interchange construction 2009 to 2016 versus
2017 to 2020.
versus
But you're not getting his point.
I get his point.
This is a national document.
I get his point.
There are
Versus-
people who contributed to
Yeah,
this
you
book.
understand?
Hold on. There are people who contributed to
I
this
get
book
the point
who
you're making.
are
Don't
even
worry.
Oh,
NDC.
I really get your point.
yeah. So,
So
don't worry.
if
So
it's being produced, why the verse is there? What
Can
the
I-
verse
Because
is?
Can I finish?
people were challenging that the 2016 to 20 and 2009 to 2016 more roads were done than 2017 to 2020.
That's a matter for
So
you.
it's a matter
But
of
for the
comparing.
party to do that.
Okay, so
not
they should
for
change it
government.
versus to
This is a
comparing.
ministry.
don't worry.
No.
Comparison.
No.
Oh, let's change it
No.
to that way.
Okay,
if that's
Kwesi-
what you want, we'll change it to that
Okay,
way.
But the
Kwesi, go on.
title is even interesting.
No, I agree with what you are saying. That no, they shouldn't use the word versus. So we'll use
Hold
comparison.
on. I mean, the title of the page is even worrying, extremely worrying.
Oh, but they could have also done 2000,
But don't worry, don't worry, don't worry.
2000 to
Don't worry,
2008
don't worry.
versus 2016 to 20.
So, in
29
this
to 20.
comparison, they put 2009 to 2016 in red color. And this is what they list. Kwame Nkrumah Circle, Ring Road flyover, Kaswa Interchange, Guildford Road, and Airport Hills.
Interchanges.
And then they move to 2017 to 2022. And it starts with Pokuase Interchange, completed. Pokuase Interchange.
Yeah.
Was it started in
2020?
2027?
2017.
Pokuase Interchange. Tell me whether it was started in 2017.
But when was it started?
Pokuase interchange started
friend.
in 2017.
Pokuase.
When was it started?
The, what do you call it? The flyovers that are
Pokuase
there.
didn't start in
When did they start?
2017.
When did they start?
When
did they start? I'm asking.
Don't worry.
No, I'm asking when they started.
I'm coming.
Since you have
Educate
gone
me.
for documents,
No, educate me when
let
they
the
started.
same source be
Don't
here.
worry.
You see,
Or they are
and
not-
when
they
you
are
are challenging
different.
it, then you tell me that it started
friend,
from this
my friend,
time.
just hold on.
But it didn't finish.
Let him finish.
Who completed
Let
it?
him finish. You
My
make
friend,
the point.
let's
Let him
hold on.
finish.
You
And
forgot
then-
that even the funding was changed
There is
for
that.
Pokuase Interchange. And the layers were changed.
Oh, change when?
You
Change
forgot
when?
it changed from
Road
45.
construction does not start with mixing concrete. Do you know that?
Oh, I know very well.
Very
When you say
good.
you've gotten
So
funding,
let's
doesn't mean
move
you
on.
started it. And that's what I wanted you to
Road
prove.
construction does not start with mixing concrete. Let's go on to the next
You
one.
go on, and I'll respond to all of them.
Tema Motorway Interchange, phase 1 completed. This one too. Are you telling me, in all honesty, that it was started in 2017? Are you telling me in
Because
all
the funding
honesty?
was there.
Was the
You
funding
tell
there?
me whether it was started
Was the
in
funding there?
2017.
Was the funding there?
They were seeking funding.
Okay.
The
You-
Temamoto Interchange, they were
Master,
seeking funding.
Yeah.
You put that aside.
Okay.
You see, there's a construction going on there now.
Master, listen.
If you don't finish and Dr. Bawumia comes to take over, it will go under his reign that he completed it. It will not come under Nanado's reign. That's how it works.
But you won't
If
list
you
that.
can decide that
You
you
won't
will not
list that
continue
as
to
an
it.
achievement
Why isn't it?
over Nana Akufo-Addo's administration.
Why?
Would you?
Why not?
Now,
Why-
listen,
why should you go and put it
don't
under
worry,
Nana
don't worry.
Akufo-Addo? If Bawumia has
These
taken over and has
things are
finished
very
it.
interesting.
Because Bawumia can decide that I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to start new things. Like what happened 8 years ago.
Master,
Why this
No,
logic?
Don't worry. Don't
Which
worry.
logic?
No,
The
don't worry.
logic you are applying
what?
to what you're saying.
That what?
Can I just go
Come
through the
again,
list?
so that which logic? That what? No, I need come with the
Okay,
logic. That
Principal,
what?
please continue.
But you can't leave it there.
Don't worry, we'll come back to you.
Okay.
So,
Obechebi-Lamte Interchange, phase 1, completed. That is also attributed to
2017.
2017 to 2022. Obechebi-Lamte Interchange.
said the
I know that's
completion.
what happened, but it wasn't completed by the
But the
previous
completion.
government. Come on.
You are comparing two errors.
No, it was completed from 2017.
It is not listed under the first error.
Yes, but it was
It's
completed.
only
Why-
listed
No,
why
but,
should it be
but it has
listed?
been captured as
This
completion.
is
Thank
deceit.
you
So
very
the
much.
completion bit
How can it be deceived?
is 2017.
Thank you.
The completion bit
So,
is 2017.
okay. So how much
The
of it-
initial
how much
stages
of it
is not
was
2017,
done
but
And then let me
before
ask you this
2017?
question.
Hold on.
you mean the percentage of
The
completion?
way the two of you are talking, at least there's an admission that some work started before 2017.
No one has said that it
The
was.
two of us are not talking.
We are not talking. And he is playing her own mischief.
That's crazy, go on.
So if some work was started in 2017, before 2017, and you are comparing the period between 2017 and so on, how much of that work is listed in this red column? Zero. That's the lie.
Okay, so what you're saying, at least that percentage of what the work had been done should have been captured there.
In the red,
In the red,
column.
right.
The omission
so
of that in the red
Angwesi,
column
let me ask you
tells
something.
a lie.
Angwesi, let me ask you something.
Please do.
If you start Kaswa and you don't finish,
Yes.
and another government comes and he says that I'm not going to continue the project, would you list it as your achievement?
You see,
Why
I'm not.
would I list it as my achievement? That's not what I'm talking
That's
about.
what you're
I'm
saying.
saying that you have put together your achievement as compared to other people's achievement.
Uncle, did you know something?
And what is here
You know something?
is
The caption you read, the caption you read, please read it again.
it says interchange construction 2009
Versus
To 2016.
2016
versus 2017 to 2022. This is
Of
your
completed-
heading.
of
So
completed
Alfred,
projects.
so Alfred, you know where you are wrong,
Why am I wrong?
and this document is misleading, even
It's
with the
not
caption.
misleading.
No, it
Go
is.
on.
Even with
No,
the caption,
answer.
it has captured a period versus a
Period. Yeah.
So once the moment you write a period versus a period, let's know exactly what happened
I need-
previous period.
Okay.
then compare it to your verses that you have put there.
Okay.
Then your completion can come. But what was there in the period, the earlier period of 2000 and something to 2016, before the 2017 period started? Do you understand what I'm saying? So if once you wrote the verses, why have you omitted the previous
I get what you are saying.
achievements?
Can I finish? Can I finish?
I wanted to answer her.
Oh, please.
Oh, it
It's
wasn't a
my
question.
chance. I just
It
raised
actually
that
wasn't
issue.
a question.
Once you raise an issue and
No, I was just making something clear to
carry
you.
on.
Okay,
Now,
fine.
let's look at Kath, the medical block that was broken down.
Yes.
Government after government came. Nobody touched it. Nobody touched it. They decided, I'm not going to work on it.
It's a different case.
It's not a different case.
What we're
It's a
talking about-
similar case to this.
No.
That's why I told you that.
No.
We could have decided
No.
that any
No.
project that
The
has
pro-
been
the
started,
specific
we've gotten
projects,
funding
no,
for,
the
let's
specific
say,
projects
Pokwase
here,
interchange.
you
I'm not going
admit,
to start
I'm
Pokwase.
saying that you
I'm going to
admit
do something
that
else.
these projects here had initial stages. It had started
Any project
at some point.
even when you put the drawing on the table,
Yes.
it started by a previous
Yes.
government.
So when
There
you
are
are
some of these projects
yes, so my
that
point
were
is,
started by
even
previous
if you
governments.
came to meet the artist impression of the project, you write there that artist impression of
You've
this
forgotten
project.
that there was a green book that they put an artist's impression that that project
That
wasn't
was
done.
not a government book. That was a political book.
But the project wasn't. I'm giving you an example. But what I'm saying is that I get what you are saying. But if you don't continue a project, the project becomes defunct.
Okay,
You
Principal,
see-
please
you
continue.
see, if you look at this, I wish we could project this. If you look at this,
Or you can project it. You can turn it.
What is actually
Yeah,
showing?
if you can turn it for the camera to
would- the
capture
camera
a
would
little
capture
bit of it, yeah.
But you
At
understand
the
when he
same
does,
time,
when he tells
I'm
it, he can't
using-
read.
I'm using it for.
Okay,
for
so
my-
Okay, so you
so
finish.
let my
When you
camera
finish.
people try and see if they can capture
Or when you finish, I can give you for
a
you
bit
to
of
take.
it. So
this thing.
even I am now seeing the change
But you
construction.
So if you take this your book,
Yeah,
eh,
it's the book of the ministry.
which you brought,
Yes,
to
I
the
brought it
studio
in because I
to
requested
make your
for it.
argument
Yeah.
about roads done. You understand? If you take this, there's nothing here which suggests, even remotely, that Pokwase interchange did not start before 2017. There's nothing here which suggests that the motorway interchange did not start before 2017. There's nothing here which suggests that Tamale interchange started before 2017. There's nothing here which suggests that East Legon underpass
Started in
started before. So you have appropriated all these dishonestly to yourself.
But East Legon underpass wasn't even started before 2017. The new underpass. The new underpass.
The East Legon.
Eh?
Oh, come
The
on
new
now,
underpass.
Freddie. I think you're no.
No, the new underpass.
No.
You forgot we were using that small one. When did it start? You forgot it? The minister went to fight over that thing.
Which small one are you
Oh my
talking about?
God.
Where the camels or this thing, that's one way pass. Before the new one came on.
So, my friend,
And there's even an overlay going on now.
my friend, all I'm saying is
Okay,
that
it's okay.
this
Let's
fact, this
You see, the mere fact that someone
Master.
gets funding doesn't mean he started a project. And that is what I keep on saying.
Master, you get funding
I
after,
believe your memory is
Master,
this thing, going,
you
My
cannot-
memory
you
is
cannot-
going where?
Can I finish? Can I finish?
going with me.
But with Russia-Ukraine war, could you have secured funding for
I
this
beg
project?
you, I beg you, I beg you, please.
So now you know Russia, Ukraine.
Oh, you have the ones dominating our heads. So
But
we
is
have
it
to-
true or not?
Alfred,
Crazy Black, please
can I
continue.
finish making
Sorry,
my point?
Nana
When I'm
Kwesi.
making your
Sorry, Nana
point,
Kwesi.
I just sit down and watch you.
No, but when you are querying, I'm here to explain.
Let me finish querying, then you can
Okay,
answer. You understand?
I'll do that. I've noted some
Now,
of
when
them.
we
so-
talk about a project getting funding, what are you talking about? You are talking about the stage of conception. The first declaration of commitment to do the project. You are talking about technical feasibility, drawings, and so on. Because without that, you can't cost the project for you to even get funding.
Yeah.
So by the time you are getting funding, you probably are left with the constructional phase. That's a lot of work.
Like they say, construction is completed before it starts.
That's a lot of work. So funding doesn't just come.
I explained
Funding
something
comes
to you.
as a result of concrete work, design, costing, all of that. In the architects call something quantities and so on. You must have done all of that before you get funding. What is this document you are carrying around showing to people? It's a useless document.
To you.
Yes, it's full of deceit. And then on the basis of this document, you claim that you have done more roads than any other government since independence. Who told you that?
Are you done? Can I come in?
You come in. Let me take a quick breather. Let me take a quick breather. I'll take a break. Yes, when I come back, you can have a say on that. We'll be back shortly.
Has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. From now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Now I want you all, those who have hats on, to take off your hats and let the band play our national anthem. And from now on, that national anthem is the national anthem of the Gogo to be played on all occasions.
Back to your Independence Day session of the Good Morning Ghana. I still have Chrissy Pratt Jr., the managing editor for Inside Newspaper, and also Alfred Thompson is also with me, former deputy MD for NIB, and also speaks for the MPP. But let me remind you that Game Park Game Limited says if you know what it means to have wealth and you want to get yourself involved in this game, remember who's got the mullah, got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws on our Dome TV 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily. So now pick your phones, tablets and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on our website at www.gameparkgames.com or dial 946# on all networks. Just choose from the numbers 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. So make some moolah and have some more power. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. It says Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. It's regulated by the National Lottery Authority and not for persons under 18. Best way cash out says Ayosoko and Akozombo Dam is big, but cash out is big. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today on betway.com.gh. And it's also not for persons under 18, regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. Blue Jeans energy drink is also available on the market, and it says that it has been on the market for 20 years and we already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. So Blue Jeans actually is an energy drink that has been tested and tried also in the market, and it's indeed their best. So for bulk purchase, contact them, Cash and Carry Limited, on 0208 128 190 or 055 001 000. Now, NIB Future Ready Leadership Summit is also on. The future is here, where the leadership is. You want to go and grab some knowledge there. The maiden edition for the Future Ready Leadership Summit, dubbed reimagining leadership in the world of unrelenting change, with very inspiring speakers such as Sam Jonah, Dr. George Ejekum Donko, Professor Kweku Echiahene-Jima, and also many distinguished speakers billed to speak on that day. The summit will come off on the 13th of March 2024 at the Mövenpick Ambassador Hotel, 8 a.m. Right? So get some tickets and contact 0267 349 147 or 0244 202 949 for your ticket if you want to, be a part of the summit. Like I said, some analysts are telling us that we're suffering from leadership crisis. If you want to be one of the world leaders that will save this country, be a part of this summit. Right. Let me come back to the guests. And Alfred, you wanted to make some interventions.
Yes. I'll quickly go through this. When you Google...
Quickly, I want us to have a bite on the LGBT.
Yeah. It's an Uncle Kwesi's lesson that I'm going to talk about. When you go through the end, first and foremost, if we doubt anything here, we wouldn't have put it here. We are fully confident of everything that we've put in this document.
You mean in the book?
Okay. Yes, it's a true reflection of whatever has happened. When you Google the construction, when the construction of the Pokwase interchange started, it will tell you straight away. It will tell you straight away when it started. And it started under the government of Nana Akufo-Addo. When you do the same for Obeche-Bilamte Phase 1, it will tell you that it took 11 months for it to start and finish under the presidency of Nana Akufo-Addo. The mere fact that someone has got funding for it, and I've seen funding that has been diverted several times. When you come to the boundary road in East Legon, from, American House, right down to Medina, that road that was there, 5 times it was paid for, but construction never went on. So someone can get the money, they pay contractors walk away, and nothing is done to those contractors.
So your point is because
people can have money and they will never construct the road. When you look at the total number of roads that were constructed, and we have given you the breakdown of the 2017 to the 2022, and I'm telling you that under the previous government, 8 years of their government, they only did 4,636 kilometers.
Okay.
So when you said we are starting a new road and you said it's only 650,
okay,
then definitely theirs will be 100 and something.
Okay. All right.
Overlays and everything are done on roads.
Okay.
And it's part of construction.
Okay. For the sake of time, let me just, I want to hear you on the LGBTQ debate. We know where we are now. The president says he was waiting for Supreme Court ruling. The funny or interesting thing is that his comments came before the suit itself was filed. So I don't know how and why that happened. I'm also picking information that it looks like there is an effort to, I'll say it maybe along the discussion.
Effort to what?
I'll say it later.
You can come out.
I'll say it before. Don't worry, I'll say it
my
before
discussion.
Before the show ends. I can promise you that. So, Uncle C, this is where we are with LGBTQ. We're still having more of the bodies. I've earlier on read some of the captions. The bodies, putting pressure on the president to sign.
Well, quite frankly, and those who have followed me over the years know what I've said all the time. I actually don't care what 2 adults do to themselves in hiding, in their privacy and so on. It's not my business. You understand? And I am deeply worried that at this time, this period, when the national economy has crashed to the ground, when people are suffering all kinds of problems and so on, this is the debate we are having. I mean, it's so nauseating. I can't live with it, that at this time, this is the debate we are having. There are major, important issues which affect everybody in our society. Things which can lead to the collapse of our society. And how politicians have managed to get all of us to be talking about these things is incredible. So,
maybe because Parliament took a center stage on it.
No, before Parliament. Parliament did that itself as a reaction to something which was happening in the society and so on. So, clearly, that is my stand. I do not think that any useful purpose will be served by creating a bedroom police. You understand? So, I will leave that here. I am very, very deeply worried about what all of this reveals about the quality of national leadership. That's what I'm worried about. I mean, that you have a Minister of Finance publicly advising the president not to sign a bill. And the reason being that other countries will not be happy with the bill, and because of their unhappiness, they are likely to withdraw 3.8 billion. Mm-hmm. I've never been insulted like this as a Ghanaian. What are we celebrating today with all this march past and so on? If our leaders think that national decision-making should be subject to the approval of other countries and other governments, makes me sick. So the value of our independence, for which Private Odate and others died, Sergeant Ajeti and others died, is $3.8 billion. Can't believe it. This is the leaders we have today. They think that all the independence, the struggle, everything, and so on, its value is $3.8 billion. That's how cheap they think our independence is. And it makes me sick. You have a situation where today, the ambassador of the United States of America appears to carry more weight than our president. Are you happy with that? The ambassador of the United States of America is telling us about human rights and so on. The United States, which still discriminates against Chicanos, Indians, blacks, Latinos, and so on, in the most horrific way, is teaching us about human rights. I can't believe it. George Floyd just happened. Look at the abuses of the fundamental rights of people. I mean, I was in Florida, in the United States, in 1979. And Annie, I still haven't overcome my shock. The original Indian inhabitants are still treated like animals in a zoo. They have what they call the Indian reservations. And I went to one in Miccosukee, in Florida. You pay money, and you pay gate fee to go and see Indians in their, they say, their natural environment. You pay money, like you pay money to go and see monkeys in a zoo, to go and see them. I've not seen anything more dehumanizing than the conditions in the Indian reservations. And they are lecturing us on human rights. Unbelievable. And our leaders are towing the line.
Yeah, exactly.
The United States says that it will be angry if we pass certain laws. Fine. What are they going to do? They're going to press the World Bank and the IMF and so on not to give us loans, which we will pay anyway. You understand? Why don't they start by first withdrawing their military bases? If they have things to withdraw here, they should withdraw their military base. They should close down. They should stop using
airport.
Terminal 1 as their logistic base. They should stop using Terminal 1 as their logistic base. That is what they should take away. They should start with that. As for their military base, they will keep it intact. As for using Terminal 1 as a logistic base, they will continue. What kind of people are these? In any case, look at how these Western ambassadors behave in Ghana. Talking down to the president, talking down to ministers, giving us injunctions and so on. Is that how our ambassadors behave in their countries? Will they tolerate that? I am sick. I'm angry at their behavior. What is this? Who are they? Who are they? You understand? And then we are told by our leaders that, look, they went to the IMF and they got a good deal because of prudent policy measures that they implemented and so on. Now the U.S. is telling us, U.S. ambassador is telling us that it had nothing to do with prudence. It had everything to do with lying prostrate before them. Because your economic calculations and so on can be correct. For as long as you disagree with them on anything, you would not get what you want from the IMF and the World Bank. That's what they are telling us. So why have you been deceiving us over this period that you went there with some prudent measures and so on? In any case, Massa, why? And I don't want to go into the substance of the matter for good reason, But just think about it. Alfred, you, handsome, tall man like this.
I need to even see that.
Pardon?
Let's go.
But you, handsome, tall man, articulate ex-banker and so on. If you lived in Great Britain and you saw 4 equally beautiful women who wanted to marry you, no coercion involved and so on, they will not agree. Will they agree?
Not at all.
Because they don't accept polygamy.
Yeah.
Now, if you are going to accept everything, let us accept polygamy too. If the rationale is to accept everything, why can't you marry 20 women? Why? Why can't 10 women marry 50 men and so on? I hope you understand what I'm saying. So there's an element of selective unfairness, clear selective unfairness when it comes to dealing with these cultural issues and so on. If you are an Iranian woman, your own choice, you've decided to cover your hair in a certain way, to wear a hijab. In Paris, they will not allow you. Why? Is that not a violation of the rights of Iranian women? Why would they not allow you to cover your hair as a Muslim woman, but insist that you behave in a certain way and so on? Yesterday, I was telling a story, and many people were laughing at it, and so on. But it's a serious matter. There's a Ghanaian couple living in London, in the United Kingdom, and I think they came on holidays. They were missing the smell and taste of snails. You understand? So they managed to send into London a few live snails. Live snails. And put them in the sink. And their little children saw them and they were so happy. The way the snails were,
going up and down.
Yes. They went to school and came back, and the snails were dancing in light soup. They just called the police. They called the police on their parents because their parents had murdered their pets. Is this what is going to be imposed on us? Where does it stop? All this thing about Western countries dictating our culture, what we eat, how we sleep, and how we walk. Where is it going to stop? And
I think you never. That's why there's a plus, and it's like infinity type of plus. It doesn't end.
When I was growing up,
so that at any point in time, when they want to amend, they can amend because it's a plus.
When I was growing up, you could not beat the phantom from in the church. Why is the phantom from inferior to the jazz drum? Somebody should be telling me why the phantom from is inferior to the. Pardon?
Why couldn't you beat it in a church?
It was considered hidden. Idol worship, beating the phantom from. You couldn't. It is only recently, younger people don't know, that Catholic priests have managed to introduce motifs like kente and so on in their castle. It was not allowed. It was hidden. Idol worship.
The kente.
How could you wear anything African in worship in the Catholic Church? You couldn't.
Oh.
It is the work of people like Bishop Akwesi Sapon and others, Damoa and others, which has brought some small enlightenment into some of the churches. They frowned on everything African, and so should we continue that? When I was growing up, when I went to secondary school, my chemistry teacher was an Englishman. My biology teacher was white. And so, for some people, the schools they went to, even the headmasters and assistant headmistresses and so on, were white.
We're all white.
Yeah. You go to church in the morning, the chief priest in the church is white. You even go to the post office, postmaster is white. You understand? Yeah. Where you go to hospital, the doctor is white and so on. This is how they sowed the complex of inferiority in us. And this is why Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah decided to embark on an Africanization project to give us some small confidence, to give us confidence that we can also develop on our own. We are now destroying everything that Nkrumah did for us. Everything that Nkrumah did in order to alter our psychology. As we speak, if you go to the Ministry of Finance, President Joe Biden of the United States of America has a representative sitting in our Ministry of Finance, approving things. Is this an independent country? As we speak, if you go to the Bank of Ghana, there's an IMF representative superintending over things in the IMF in the Bank of Ghana. Is this an independent state? So you people, you came to power not just to rewrite the history of Ghana in the most banal way. You also came to deepen our complex, our complex of inferiority. This is what you brought to us. This is what we have reached. We have now reached a stage where the American ambassador purports to be more powerful than our parliament. She can instruct our parliament as to what to do. Our parliament takes a decision. American ambassador said there will be consequences. Be careful. Who is she? Who is she? All these Western ambassadors, who are they? Are they better than the professors we have in the University of Cape Coast, in the University of Science and Technology and so on? Are they better? Are they more knowledgeable? What is this? Where have we come to? I am sick and tired of this Western control, this puppetry that has been going on over all this period.
But have you heard people say that when Nkrumah said the African is capable of managing its own affairs, he, maybe to paraphrase what they tried to say, he didn't know what he was saying?
They should go and read the declassified documents of the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States of America. Nkrumah was overthrown precisely because he was making huge impacts in the whole of Africa. He was changing the dynamics. He was helping the Africa to become master of his own destiny. Their own declassified documents say so. To the extent that in sabotaging Nkrumah, at one stage, they actually considered bombing the Akosombo Dam to deny us of the electricity that we needed in order to power industry and so on. Go read that. Now, only last night, I was reading declassified documents from the United Kingdom about what they did to sabotage the Nkrumah government. It doesn't support this claim that Nkrumah didn't know what he was about. You understand? There's one particular document that I've always referred to. And that is the cable which was sent to the Foreign and Commonwealth Office by A.W. Snelling, the UK High Commissioner in Accra, I think in 1961, September 1961. When he wrote to his government that Nkrumah was making the African too politically conscious and that they had to get rid of him. And so, how can anybody make that claim? The documents are there, their own documents. It's not my documents. They tell their own story of subversion against Nkrumah. This book, JFK, or Deal in Africa, written by Jack D. Mahoney, clearly showed what they did against Nkrumah in the 1960s, using Lomé as a base. The number of people they killed in order to subvert the Nkrumah project, killed. The number of Ghanaians they killed in order to subvert the African project, and so on. Let's stop doing that. Now, we have a government which cannot say no to them. Anything they say is okay. Say, hey, Joe Biden needs, an advisor in your Ministry of Finance. Say, yes, I must, bring him. And then they give him an office, Ministry of Finance. The United States needs, IMF needs a supervisor over Bank of Ghana. Then they create an office space for him. And so, if you sign bills passed by your parliament, we will punish you. And then we are panicking. And then the president issues a statement, which is so embarrassing. I mean, the statement the president issues is so embarrassing. It's unbelievable. and then MPP communicators go on the bench trying to explain this. My goodness, what is happening to us? What is happening to us? What is the value of independence? Why are you meeting in Koforidua? If this is your attitude, why do we even waste resources on Koforidua? If all you do is to say yes and master to everything that comes from the West, you actually get your parliament to approve an agreement which says that if US soldiers come into your country and they kill your citizens, we cannot go to court. You approve such an agreement.
We have that agreement.
Yes! There's an agreement. If US soldiers come here and they kill Ghanaians, you can't go to court. If they come and destroy your property, you can't go to court. We have agreed to that. Now we want them also to control our lawmaking body. I can't believe it. Look, this thing, if you don't take care, they will force you to go and say things that you did not intend to say. I'm looking at the statement which was issued by Richard Sky, which was issued by Richard Sky on the ongoing controversy and so on. And Richard Sky himself is dwelling on Article 12, subsection 1 of the 1992 Constitution and others. And I've just read them. I mean, if I'm to read them now, you start asking yourself, what is happening? Article 12, subsection 1 says, the fundamental human rights and freedoms enshrined in this chapter shall be respected and upheld by the executive, legislature, and judiciary, and all other organs of government and its agencies, and where applicable to them, by all natural and legal persons in Ghana, and shall be enforceable by the courts as provided for in this Constitution. He also dwells on subsection 2, which reads, every person in Ghana, whatever his race, place of origin, political opinion, color, religion, creed, or gender, shall be entitled to the fundamental human rights and freedoms of the individual contained in this chapter, but subject to respect for the rights and freedoms of others and for the public interest. And then he also relies on Article 15.1. And Article 15.1 simply says that the dignity of all persons shall be inviolable. Then he moves on to Article 17.1, 1 and 2. Interesting. All persons shall be equal before the law. And then 2, a person shall not be discriminated against on grounds of gender, race, color, ethnic origin, religion, creed, or social or economic status. And then he moves on to Article 18, Article 18.2. Article 18.2. A person shall not be discriminated against on grounds of gender, race, color, ethnic origin, religion, and so on. And then finally to 21 and so on. And I'm reading them. I'm not a judge. I didn't go to law school like them and so on. I'm saying, all this, what does it mean? All of these provisions which have been splashed in front of us. What do they really mean? I don't know. You understand? But there's even a more interesting aspect of the statement which was issued by our friend and brother, Richard Sky. Very interesting. It's a small line, but it speaks volumes. He says, his legal action is not a reflection of his personal views on LGBTQI plus individuals. What does that mean? This is a guy who has gone to court, asking the courts to virtually interpret the Constitution and enforce the Constitution. And says the action I've taken is not based on my personal views. On whose views?
So you've seen on your screen the shots from the Independence Square. Yes. So we'll have to wrap up pretty shortly, and then we'll, I think we'll do it again. So because it's not ended yet. I'm actually hearing that we are planning to put a perpetual injunction on His Excellency the President to restrain him from actually assenting to the bill.
But that's a problem. I mean, the President announces that people have gone to court more than 24 hours before they went to the court. How did he get his information? How did he get his information?
Alfred, this one I beg you, just 2 minutes, then we can go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have to.
I just want to let Uncle Kwesi know that as we sit here today, there's no one from the U.S. at the Ministry of Finance. Sometime back, there's no one from the U.S. at the Ministry of Finance. Sometime back, we had the USAID helping us with.
I'm not talking about the U.S.
I'm coming.
When Kamala Harris came here,
I'm coming.
The communique was issued.
Relax.
What are you talking about?
There is no one, as we speak today, at the Ministry of Finance from the U.S. We had some debt relief things that we are working on, and the USAID helped us with someone from the U.S. But the person has finished his work and gone.
And gone. Oh, so
so there's no one at the Ministry of Finance.
So the person came.
And they are even requesting for other things. Now, quickly to the point that you made.
You're requesting for other things.
In one breath, Ankwesi says that, the U.S. ambassador cannot dictate to us and show us what to do. And the same breath saying that she's dictating to the parliament and stating that she said we should be careful, but there are repercussions that would happen to us.
By the same
Truthfully, if the president is going to sign this, he has to look at one thing. What is the economic effect to the Ghanaian child or the Ghanaian man standing on the streets? That is the first thing he has to look at before he can assent.
No.
Because the first thing he has to look at, they've given me 2 minutes. Let me finish. They've given me 2 minutes. Let me finish. You've done your nice, you've given your nice submission. He has to look at the first and foremost, the benefit or the disadvantage to the Ghanaian person. And
which is more disadvantageous? Is it people practicing sodomy and things like that?
It's already one. It's
or
already
the money we're losing at IMF?
I'm coming. There's already in our law books, one.
So we should allow it.
Two, whether we sign or not, people are still doing it. What we are saying is that they shouldn't do anything openly for you and me to be to see.
Hence the law. Hence the bill.
But it's already in our books that don't do it. It's already in our books. So whatever he has to do, the first thing he has to make. Listen, Ghana is recovering so well. We will not do anything that will disadvantage any Ghanaian.
Ghana is not recovering.
Any Ghanaian anywhere.
Okay.
Ankwesi.
But you know that
our economy is recovering.
Why is it not recovering? Is that what you're saying?
Why is it not recovering? We went into a deep crisis and we are coming out of it.
How have you come out of a deep crisis?
I've been said we have come out. I said we are still.
But it's not
true. It's coming out.
Why are you then panicking?
Panicking on what? So whatever we do, the president has a foremost duty to make sure that no Ghanaian is at a disadvantage, and will work assiduously to make sure that the economy comes back on track very well, and Ghanaians would benefit in every way possible. But what we say is, as a party, we don't subscribe to LGBTQ, and we will never subscribe to it. But we'll make sure that as a government, we will not do anything that will disenfranchise any Ghanaian.
Right.
We will not allow political whims and caprices to override any decision that will let someone suffer somewhere in a small corner.
Right.
After,
It will not
what
happen.
are you saying?
Right.
The U.S. says that if you don't listen to me, I will withdraw this amount of money. You say we will never allow the U.S. to withdraw the money. Your people are saying that, look, don't listen to the U.S., take this part. What are you saying?
Well, so
What are you saying?
let's cross
Say
over.
what you want to
Let's
say.
cross over to Koforidua as the parade has started, and then we'll give you the full feed here on Metro TV. Okay, so that's it. It's still ongoing, and so I just want to find out: are we going to restrain the president from signing the bill?
Who will restrain the president?
The court.
If the court does, how would the court do that?
How would you?
But the other aspect we should also look at, people say that ABBA is not being passed into a law.
Yes.
So why
So
can you
can't.
send the president to a court? We should know one thing, that there's an intent. And you can send intent to court to be, for a decision to be taken.
Okay.
So
So
you
you
can look
support
at all
it?
that.
You support
Which
it?
one?
Taking the president to court, you support it?
I didn't say I support that.
Okay. It's a wrap.
We are currently located at the Regional Youth Resource Center here in Ajeso, Koforidua. The eastern region of Ghana is a rich blend of dramatic landscape, a prominent one being Obuo Tebiri, located just about 3 kilometers northeast to the left of the presidential dais. It is a serene location that offers nature enthusiasts an opportunity for hiking. The eastern region can also